welcome back to the channel. On this episode, we're going to be going over some basic do's and don'ts for riding your motorcycle.
Boy, that sure sounds good.
Hey ballers, welcome back to the channel. So I've had a motorcycle off and on for about 25 years, 30 years. I went through a number of different bikes, and yeah, it's just some things you learn over the years of what to do, what not to do. So this video is probably a little more geared towards newer riders, and if you're thinking about getting back on a bike, maybe just some things that as an experienced rider you've just forgotten. So, you know, no particular order here. I will probably end up recording this over several different rides, because there's a lot of different scenarios that pop up when you're riding a motorcycle that you just got to be aware of, and teach yourself how to get in those and get out of them. So there's just a lot of scenarios that are going to pop up, and you just kind of got to know what to do. A lot of times it's just reflex over thinking. So anyway, a few things you want to do when you're riding your motorcycle. One is, you got to understand that everybody on this road, every car, every truck, everything you see are for the most part being driven by idiots. People in general are not looking for motorcycles. Their brain is not trained for that. It's looking for a car, it's looking for a truck, it sees a motorcycle, and it doesn't know how to process it in a split second. So you got to be conscious and just keep in mind that people have a hard time seeing you, and they're going to pull out in front of you. They're going to just do things that they wouldn't do if you were a car, because they have a hard time picking you out from a car. And that's why I'm a big proponent of put lights on the front of your bike, put some bright lights, put some things on the side if you can, just anything you can do to make yourself stand out, because it's about safety. A couple other things you want to keep in mind when you're just riding down the highway like I am. You know, you've taken a motorcycle course, you've taken the road test and whatnot. It'll tell you, and it's a good rule of thumb, is you don't ride down in the center of the lane. You don't ride right here most of the time. And the reason you don't do that is because as these cars are rolling down the road, any kind of oil drips, any kind of fluid coming off of the car is typically coming in that center lane. And after a while, your tires are going to get built up with some kind of chemicals on it. So you're better off to stay to one track or the other. So something to keep in mind when you're rolling up to stop signs, stop lights. In particular, what I'll do, you can see this is a split lane here, or it's two lanes. I won't stop on this side of the vehicle. I will stop over here in this lane. And the reason I'll do that is because cars are coming in on this side, and if I'm in that lane that's right here, closest to them, I have a higher chance of getting hit. So I want to stay as far over to the curb and away from these cars as possible. So a thing to keep in mind when you're on your motorcycle and you come up to a red light and you're the first one in line, and I do this when I'm in a car as well. When that light turns green, I will not go. I will delay a good 2 count, maybe 3. Make sure that nobody's running that light. It's very rare that that light turns green and I'm taking off. There's way too many times that somebody runs the light, and as a motorcycle, getting hit by a car, you're going to lose. So again, light turns green, I'll let cars go before me. There's a car over here on my left, you really can't see it, you can see it in the mirror. I'll let him go first, because if somebody runs a light, they're going to hit him and not me. A couple other things that I'll do when I'm riding. You can see this is 3 lanes. In general, what I will do is I'll ride in the middle lane here. Okay? Mostly because cars are pulling in and out on both sides. People are turning, and if I'm in the center lane, I have more options as to which way I need to go to avoid an accident. Do I need to go left? Do I need to go right? Do I just need to lock up the brakes and stop? But either way, if I'm in the right lane, I can only go left, or if I'm in the left lane, I can only go right to avoid an accident. So in general, my rule of thumb is I'm going to ride down the center lane as much as I can. So a few other things to keep in mind while you're riding is a car's blind spot. So I got this Honda up in front of me, and I'm behind them. I'm keeping a good distance. Presumably they can see me in their rear view mirror if they're looking. And it might be a newer Honda where it's got the sensors to try to tell it if somebody's in the blind spot, but I just got to assume that even if it does, they're not going to see me there. So one, I will never ride in somebody's blind spot. I will always keep my bike back a little bit, like right about here. If I'm going to go past this person, I'll downshift and I'll shoot by them, because what I don't want them doing is coming in and coming over. Now she can see me. Now that driver can see me, right? Same way with this Toyota up here. This guy can see me in his side mirror, but if I get too close, if I get right in here, he's going to have a hard time seeing me. I never ride there. I always ride up in front where they can see me. All right, so I'm coming up here to a red light. It is a turning lane, but you'll see I don't stop here close to this lane. What I'll do is I'll come over on this side where I'm as far away from that traffic right there as I can get. That way, if somebody comes up and they're not paying attention, I'm far enough away that in general I'm just lessening my exposure to being hit by a car.